And welcome back to the Dead by Daylight Dayton Sim. Hooked on you, ladies and gentlemen. It's once more your man, Bob Wild, Dr. Wild Code. In the previous chapter, it seems as if me and Spirit were definitely hitting it off. It seems that way at least. And, because as I said, we just get each other. Like, in real life, she thinks a lot of the same kinds of things I do. I think this will work. I hope this will work. What a fun day it's been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining, and that's not just remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. No, you're not feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry, I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle living. It's time to get back to business. Oh, there. Upstarting singles have arrived for dinner, including Shifter. Faith is here too. We're not going to do the guy poet climb off them onto the screen at the same time again, so just believe me. They're all here, they're all just as sexy in the mental to remember. They love on the line, everyone is being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm as surprised as you are these four falling for it. No, not because you're posting out, but because you only just met them yesterday. However, since Faith seems to be like the biggest long shots end up holding on to your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murder's Island, but hey, letting him have this one moment of the spotlight is the least we could do. And heaven knows they won't do any better than that. I'm sick of hearing what you everyone else calls themselves my pride. They're trying to get to the bottom, nowhere in the there. Slide down back. I'm not really hungry anyway, so I just salad, something, green cotton, that cotton, it was gross. I'm fine with those last nothing fancy. I expect there was nutritional value. Let your ass choose was a mistake. That's all of us. Daily serves totally, but certain pound burgers would like to know about your day. What would you like to say about would you like to say your day with the rest of the group? I'm not interested in that. That's what's up. But how to describe to others? Say too much or too little and could have felt while standing with the group. Okay, but don't just stand there saying nothing. I think it's not nothing. Yeah, why just about this kind of things? That's just, it wasn't really a date. More like people avoiding everyone else and choosing to be alone, but doing it in relatively close proximity to each other. That's exactly right. Couldn't have not said anything about myself. Spills is clearly happy with the way he portrays all this. No surprise, she doesn't like people getting into her business. Watching crowd upbringing out to everyone is in silence. No one trusts anyone now. They are very tired. Oh wait, the sign. No. That's a super G all through such an odd hot commands a time and dating sim setting and undisclosed tropical paradise. Boney up to eat? Do I mean bone? No, almost everything we serve here has a lot of bones in it, even vegetables. Impossible to avoid on this island. Tensions are rising, both varieties. When everyone finishes, Water and Claudia come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as they pick up your plate to take your napkin and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the fellow? Now, this, I understand as much as it pains me, because I don't want to be like mean to anyone, even in games, but I understand this has to be done. Is there anything else we can do for you? Anything at all? Anything? A man's book, perhaps? I know, right? What kids? She's like, guys, I didn't want to do that, but I want to get this good end. I don't want to end up there nothing. Everyone, if you could please piece of kindness for us to fight, we greatly appreciate. You've been told something big is going to happen. Something will change everything. You don't believe me, they're looking over you. You have this choice. So cookies. Did you have a choice on you said that, dweeb? Yes, that means we all did. God, something needs to change around here. Fire's rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. Fire is too smoky. Smoker's minds. Process the lines. I'm also far away from it. Fire me. My eyes because of child trauma. Both fire. And finally, everyone starts moving toward the fireplace to get away from this complaining. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, wait for the other kills to take their places, wondering who would tell a story this time. The narrator tells a story? I bet he's got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think, is he allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? Doesn't seem fair. Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Oh, cool. Now everyone is looking at you. So, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story? Or a complete read? Bible? I'm just thinking, what you tell us a story? And father square and skull fasting together. Duck out of the way. Who knows what it can do? Goes his lenses. Try not to bore us. I'm just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. I can't tell if the one for the fathers is the no seem to happen. I know the fires right here, but if it's something about so said like doesn't threaten it's all this not supposed to hit. Got out of here, man. I was about to make an important decision about telling a story. I remember last few times it's always seemed to be a thing that had been for Huntress if you do tell stories, so I'd rather not. What, you have something hard? Tell me, Miss, you've not a single story to tell me. So sad. Truly, Annie has faces from me later. Never heard that. Or yeah, I have. I don't remember what it means though. I'm just wondering. Why are you being like this? Be strong, be gracious. Well, strong, I feel in this case might mean like being pissy, which I don't want to be, because it says be gracious. So, because you're almost their storyteller, isn't I? Look at you, will never without offending anyone. Killings plus, the flatter, suspect, safety's side. Okay, so that was not very good stuff. I don't mean to insult you, but okay. Alright. Huh. Curious that you would say that, even though I didn't actually tell a story, which in this case is actually a good thing, because the story that gets told sucks, usually. I feel it's always in fact. I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to. Anything I should say is judged by the movie you could count with anyone else in the script. Like all good stories, I can tell it to someone who's past the dead now. Can't do anything about it. It's called The Bride. Technically, I suppose the fiance. One winter, a young couple decided next spring they would be married. To a man they in love could not wait for the snow to melt, so they could join matrimony and unite their souls for eternity. Breathless, Blaze Brown translated, decided to have the wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods on a beautiful sandy sheet farmhouse. Together they spent months designing details of the wedding, to create an invitation to figure out the arrangements. Just one over case before the one. It shows they low-key, by the way. So fancy. I wonder what that is. If that sounds like it'll be like maybe from Hawaii or something. I came to figure out the situations, however, bride, the fiance, I guess, she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead in this style. After all, her boyfriend been wearing cargo shorts that seem sandals for pretty much the entire relationship, so he was definitely not to be trusted. There's nothing wrong with cargo shorts. Or open to sandals for that matter, if it's just that you're on the beach or whatever. Having to decide on such a lovely natural setting for the ceremony, the fiance decided to create a unique floral arrangement for the walk with a lot of flowers to thread the farmhouse. Especially if say cargo shorts are from American Eagle. Good conservative network. As soon as the sun rose on the first day of spring, she set off into the woods. Each day she spent hours mapping out where blooms prepared to pick them for stuff the morning of the wedding to be their height of freshness and beauty. And with an incredible variety of flowers, she said, being the bride, heard the fiancés that had been married, came to such knowledge of how many there were. She could see through his absolute best. On the fateful morning of her big day finally came, the fiancé told her husband to be. She had one final errand before the wedding. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in a beautiful white gown, herself into the woods to gather flowers. Treading carefully, she followed the route, selecting only the best stems collected from the basket. However, when she came upon the woods from the queen, something was not as she expected. Somehow it was more beautiful now than ever before. Just on the edge of the field, there was a new bush full of blossoms so vibrant and colorful, she became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored their sudden spell and pressed ahead, skipping up flower after flower. And every time as she did, she noticed the first further ahead, possibly even more beautiful blossoms. Carried by the sweet fragrance of spring air and the fiancé kept further and farther into the woods, so she turned the corner, stepped over a mossy fallen tree trunk, and realized she'd been here before. But it wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least as she remembered it. Flowers were suddenly everywhere, decaying, falling from their stems into festering mold pile on the floor. Her piece of bed not only flowers buds, but scent of flowers and once intoxicated her. They were melted now made her sick. She turned to look back, but the path was dark. To a shadowy glen she walked, and walked, and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancé was nowhere to be seen. Friends, family, and more began to look for it, to no avail. Searched the pasture, the tree line, and into the forest. There were no beautiful wildflowers, no notes to be seen. Just old dead tree, trampled wild, moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed fiancé for eternity, always wandering, looking for fresh blooms to clip but never find them. Distracted by a never-ending search for perfection, unable to see the love for you are. Out there all alone. I was beautiful and sad, just like someone we know. How was story time? Well, people like to see plots out of the sequel. I think every good story is a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as boring the original. That's why I'm much more a fan of episodic style storytelling. Now, the series takes a lot of pressure off any individual installment and builds creators sense of community between audience creator. Tell me, Bob, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Now, I know I've said about this before, but I gotta say again, I always gotta say that the so-called Star Wars trilogy, the ones that came after Return of the Jedi, those sequels, I only saw one of them, Rise of Skywalker, but yeah, it didn't work to me. Don't answer that. We don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we move seamlessly on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk here in the waiting room. It's a twilight moment. Wait, I'm going to set you need to set your rap chat. You know you need to get protected. That thing we're doing when we're not on screen. Okay, you having fun tonight. I'm trying to wink wink, end up dead. Why do you say the words wink wink out loud? What kind of double entendre are you getting at the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking. Not since the accident. And you do know that all these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit. She doesn't really belong here. She's strictly a victim, not perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed. Try yourself with trash talking Spirit. Damn me. What you say? Dark this back to the hot tub where I can soak this pile of my roast that goes to help kill hot taste. Please, no talking seems in later gameplays. This is not these activities have to be set next to little. Let's put it there by finger flames spell. What if we turn around and follow this? On this fiddly leg, you probably tired before you got far. It was running away someplace more secluded 5 miles after. He's obviously joined me. You seen these legs? Pure power. I might walk speed really fast by down stature. That's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. It's my choice is completely logical. Once everyone is so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama for all that. Don't you get it? Society wants chicks to find each other's this is good. Slipping and falling, so it makes those silly fabricate problems. I'll be sitting in the seas, making something locally sourced while being coping out with a recycled paper, because I refuse to play the damn game anymore. I won't have. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that, but I just think it's funny how even Wraith seems like. Why that kind of thing. I just think it's comical because he's the least aggressive of all these types. It's like she's actively trying to be as unpure as possible. It's a real turn everyone I'll just marry. Despite Chopper's insatiable appetite, seems to attention along with the attention of everyone else, still under improvement. If we could, just pick one of us, maybe one of our brothers, or there was some special project like. You heard him. A little bit. I would held off with for another activity. I'm just saying, you may not get a tough chance to stay around like this before the time our middle designs come to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either, but without the streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, that's pretty much all that was taken. I know, right? Yeah. Okay. Spirit? Oh, you picked me. Yay. Sorry, that was rude of me. I despise foreigners, so to be honest with you. You make for interesting company. I love the idea of bringing up all these kills at all costs, even when I think the game of prize. I one day. Learning some very meditations, grind my teeth up in my sweet event. It takes flight out of me. Don't stop bringing your A game, alright? It might seem like I hate everything, and going to really know it is an impossible task now to try me too bad. You won't know until you search deep inside yourself when you have everything you've got. Or just say the right thing at the right time, not like cold heart Nancy. Out the rules you bang, bang, you do. See the bar, I guess. They arrive at the bar to find White and Claudette both holding cocktail shakers, surrounded by beverage bottles of assortment juices. Who's ready to get wasted? As you know, I don't drink. It's not me. Unless you mean wasted and killed. In which case, Dad, if you're out there somewhere, I'll find you and waste you for what you've done to me. You really don't drink? Ever? Is that like because it was just felt like a home stop thing, or? It's indeed. That's what I was saying before. She knows. I don't drink alcohol because alcohol is poison in the body and the mind. I don't need to have food have a good time. Then why'd you take it to mixology lessons as your activity? Everyone knows this day is just an excuse to get loaded up on booze and make terrible decisions. It's true, not a single person have anything one of these things. Dwight, you know that's not true. You learned how to tie a chain knot. Instead of using all your tongue. Whoa, you who would have said a splash in my private business? Because that's off menu. Well, I know what I'm drinking to forget that. Mixology is a real thing. It doesn't require alcohol to be interesting. Amen. I'll have you know that I went to a restaurant before I was finally executed. By your father, of whom you have believed vengeance. Right. Well, so be it. How about you, Bob? Do you drink? Nah. I've got the impression that tonight will be a night I remember prayerfully, so I have to pass on the alcoholic drinks. Here. Alcohol is a false escape. Besides, not like two people can't have fun. Exactly. You also spilled takes up a plump chair and wrote this out of the plastic sword through it. Chair just splatters everything around it. A little fruity guts flop out on the space lap. Oopsie. On the upside's a rain blanket, it's hardly seen. No tape boxes. Still, Lopez, what drinks do they make? Okay, so from what I understand, because I had to look this up, and this indeed does seem to correlate what she does. Like, she's very dark herself in like every sense of the word. I originally used Bloody Mary thinking that would work, but it didn't in the original, so yeah, and indeed, her White House has like a storm that shows up, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it does. How about a dark and stormy drink for my dark and stormy date? Oh, that one is cute. Please, without share how dark and stormy is made. First, when this cake front after section a bit of apple juice is poured over ice. Apples are well known as my spirit plant in real life. I work with plants on like a spiritual level because I'm what's called shaman. However, I always did wonder what a dark and stormy was. Huh. And then fresh ginger beers added in. Guys with a lime wheel and drink. The end. Okay, so replicating rum substitute and ginger beer over ice. Don't forget the lime wheel. Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice with a lime wheel. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I'm supposed to do that another one of those mini games. In this case, I would imagine. Not sure I appreciate it, Tom, but yes, you got it. You're natural. Sassy natural. You enjoy more common. Don't you dare. Spell seems to be in a lovely mood as he slips the dark and storm. Stops really over the houses of petty behavior. I'm sorry, that just slipped out the way I said that, but that does indeed work though, given the fact that I'm giving the narrator the British accent from Hannibal Lecter. I never understood why they have those unnecessary uniforms in so many words in both Britain and Canada, if you understand. Um, a lot of English language countries seem to have unnecessary uniforms where they don't really belong. Uniform being the military for next to the civilian you. It reminds me of this awesome meme I saw. The so-called King of England and President George Washington, and it was like several words like that. Um, only Washington saying them without the uniform, and then the so-called king saying, "What are you doing? Getting rid of you." I love it. It's awesome. Okay, little dark Stormy and snakes way up from the ocean. Tastes out dumb because Stormy's watched the clouds approach. It's quite refreshing. Isn't this fun? Honestly, it's the most drama-free fun I've had since I got here. And since you picked a simple, delicious drink, we've got plenty of time to relax. I'll make out just a little. I know, right? Damn, that was just out of nowhere. The flight could have got out. Lightning strikes, palms on the beach, music. Even spirits freaked out by this. Damn, it immediately stopped the fire. The activity ends abruptly as Claude has been twice also observed you away from the bar. Let's see here how I've been recording. Yeah, it's actually going to be the end of this chapter. Keep this from getting too long, ladies and gentlemen. So if you dig what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. I'll sit back fairly well.